Hello everybody, thank you for watching our new movie, Edwin. My name is Christopher Schoen, and I played the role of Dr. Lucifer Brown.
And my name is Benjamin Walker, and I played the role of Edwin Birdley.
Now today we're going to dive deeper into the meanings and the drives behind our motives to make the movie, Edwin.
Okay, so I'll start everybody off with our essential question for the movie, and that was how can extreme developments in biomedical sciences, as well as the absence of a father figure in one's life, lead to irrational behavior and devastating outcomes?
Now we're going to delve deeper into the symbolism that appears all throughout the movie, Edwin. Now, right from the opening scene, we can immediately see the symbol of water, and that is portrayed throughout many scenes throughout the movie, and throughout literature, and especially in Edwin, the symbol of water represents rebirth. And obviously, this movie symbolizes but shows the rebirth of Edwin as Dr. Birdley, as we all see.
So also in that opening scene of the majestic landscape, we see fog present in it, and other times in the movie we see fog, particularly in the resurrection scene when Dr. Lucifer Brown brings me back from the dead. And the archetype of fog actually symbolizes mystery, and that's something that we really wanted to harp on in this movie, that scientific developments, particularly in like the biomedical sector, oftentimes it's unpredictable what exactly is going to happen, and people push and push to keep discovering more and more things, but how that actually is going to affect our society that we live in is oftentimes unclear. And that's something that we really wanted to show in our movie, and we felt like introducing that concept right from the beginning would be very important.
So additionally, before Dr. Brown's introduction, we showed a short clip of a sunrise, which shows really the beginning of this whole madness and my contribution to society, albeit a negative one.
Mm-hmm. So we also see this symbol of the sun rising come full circle at the end of the movie, right after the character Edwin, portrayed by myself, kills my son, Eddie, because we see the sun set right after that happens. And in a way, that is the dusk of this chaos and this episode of madness that Dr. Lucifer Brown has inflicted upon the whole entire world by bringing Edwin back from the dead. Okay, so now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the archetypes that can be found throughout this movie. The first one that I want to talk about is unhealable wound, which is a situational archetype that hopefully you guys are all familiar with. But pretty much this is very apparent in the character Edwin, because we see that he has this sort of psychological disorder that he's not able to get out of, because it's something that is embedded in who he actually is as a person, and it's something that he can never be able to shake. So that's why he fits this archetype quite spot on.
Also, we see the father-son conflict throughout this story a lot. Eddie, as a young child, never had a father, and that's his whole motivation behind why he needs to bring his father back, or why he feels the need to. And throughout his relationship with his father, now it all seems to be going great until the end, where there's this huge conflict when Eddie has been betrayed, and that's the last thing he will ever remember as he gets beaked by Edwin. Yeah,
and just to kind of add on to the father-son conflict, we see how sometimes when someone lacks that father figure in their life, like Eddie does in the movie, it sets them up to be very vulnerable to certain situations that are very bad for themselves and for society. Like, if he was in his right mind and wasn't blinded by the fact that he, missed his father, he wouldn't have been able to he wouldn't have thought that doing this, bringing back this evil man, could ever possibly be a good thing for humanity.
And finally, we see the archetype of innate wisdom versus educated stupidity, and we see that through the development of the character Lucifer Brown. Now, Lucifer Brown has his master's degrees, he has his bachelor's degrees. He thinks he's a genius, just because he's gone through all these universities and excelled in them and everything like that. But we see throughout the movie, and it's really portrayed in Lucifer Brown's last voiceover of Edwin looking over the ocean, that no amount of college education can really prepare you or educate you for the real world and the moral ethics of science. And then at the end, we see my character, Lucifer Brown, really take a step back and admit that he was wrong, and that he wants to now really pay attention to wisdom rather than just all education and pushing for science.
So lastly, we just wanted to thank all of you again for watching Edwin and hopefully enjoying it. And I want you all to stay tuned for more coming from Sagamore Inc. So keep on the lookout.
Thank you.